Welcome to Bottomline Chat. I'm Emerson. Today, I'm going to talk about the pay-per-view by WWE that just happened called Great Balls of Fire. It's the first ever. They've never had this event before, so obviously it was just with the Raw roster that took place. So, before the pay-per-view, obviously the pre-Great Balls of Fire match they had was King Neville versus Akira Tozawa. Hopefully I said that right. I'm still kind of relatively new, but both of them were phenomenal in this match. Now, Neville won to retain his Cruiserweight belt, but not without a fight from Tozawa. I mean, he is a gifted up-and-comer. I really liked his style. I liked what he laid out there. And I don't think that rivalry is done just yet. I know he was a little upset about the loss. He's got Titus as his manager, basically getting them all set up. So he's going to look into having another match. But again, it was an awesome match. Great way to start off the pay-per-view. Next match after that was Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins, with Bray Wyatt defeating Seth Rollins. Again, another great match. And with this one, Bray Wyatt used the typical, and you haven't seen this for a while, heel way of winning the match. He took a little page out of Ric Flair's book with a little thumb to the eye without the ref knowing, because the ref was distracted trying to pull Seth Rollins off of him, and got the fall 1, 2, 3 right after it. But it was back and forth. It was a really good, entertaining match. And again, that was great for the first match of the night. It was really good to watch. So, again, Bray Wyatt defeats Seth Rollins in a great match. Next match, this one, to me, was an emotional one. You had Big Cass versus Enzo Amore. And Big Cass won. Now, you're probably, if you say you haven't been up to date with what's been going on in the WWE, now Big Cass and Enzo Amore were tag team partners. Well, over the past month, there's been a spree of attacks that have happened to Enzo Amore, 2 of them to be exact, and then there was one that was supposedly happened to Big Cass, which then we found out later with the revealing of basically Kurt Angle and one of the commentators, that Big Cass staged his own attack, just laid down saying he got beat up, when he's actually the attacker. So Big Cass basically is sick and tired of Enzo Amore, decides he wants to go on his own. Now, I like these guys as tag team. They were hilarious. They had a great chemistry, I think. And I'm just sad that they've torn these guys up before they could even have the chance to win the belt. So I was torn by it. I was kind of hoping that these guys would have made up. I thought they did on the Raw before the pay-per-view. I thought they hugged, they made up. I thought, okay, just as they're leaving, the Big Cass gives a big clothesline going, yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen. So they're going their separate ways. It was a great match. I know most of it was dominated by Big Cass, but like I said, an emotional one. Sad to say that they're no longer a tag team match. So again, Big Cass wins that one. And we went into the 30-minute Iron Man tag team, which is the first ever tag team championship match, which took place with Cesaro and Sheamus, who are the tag team champs, going up against the Hardys for a rematch. Now, obviously, 30 minutes of just non-stop. Right off the bat, Cesaro and Sheamus do a little trick. Sheamus basically almost kicks Matt Hardy's head off. Bang. Already 1 pinfall. So, obviously, it was back and forth. At one point, they were tied 3-3. Just looked like Jeff Hardy was about to to get the fourth one, and then tables were turned. So Cesaro then basically, because he was the legal man, he ends up getting the pinfall, and then he decides he's going to run around. Jeff Hardy actually hits him with a move with like 4 seconds left, but he couldn't get the count of 3 before the time ran out, which meant the Cesaro and Sheamus retain their belts. But it was a great match. I was kind of hoping it kind of went into like an OT or something like that, but that wasn't the case, unfortunately. So, but again, it was a great match. The pay-per-view was really exciting, and I was happy that they were doing great matches so far. So, which then brought us into another another belt, which was the Intercontinental belt, which was held by The Miz. Now, he's going up against Dean Ambrose, who is obviously trying to win back the Intercontinental belt. Now, the only problem is Dean Ambrose had the deck stacked against him, because The Miz now, not only did he have his wife at ringside like he always does, now he's got an entourage. So he's got Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel as 2 of his minions now, as I'm going to call it. But he calls it the Miztourage. So now these got basically 3 people. They're going to almost guarantee that he's going to win. Ambrose fought the best he can. It was a pretty good back-to-back match, but back and forth. But in the end, Maurice basically did the distraction that ended up allowing the Miz to win. So here we have it. Basically, Miz again uses his dirty tactics to secure a win. Still, it wasn't a bad match. You know that's gonna happen when you've got people at ringside. It's just bound to happen that the person that doesn't is gonna get kind of screwed over unless some miracle happens. Then we went into the Raw Women's Championship match. Now, I've said this in my previous videos before. I think a lot of the matches for the women, they've kind of dropped the ball on. Even on who they've selected for champion, at least on Raw specifically in this case. Alexa Bliss, I'm sorry, but people are going to disagree with me on this one, but I don't think she is championship material. Yeah, she's got the personality that you just don't like her. Personally, I think she's just a Barbie doll fake. I don't think she can wrestle. I think she's horrible with wrestling. But for some reason, the powers to be in WWE see her differently. So, Alexa Bliss was defending her belt against Sasha Banks. Now, Sasha Banks brought a little bit to this match. So, I mean, Sasha's won the belt 3 other times in the past. Most of the times she went up against Charlotte. And this was pretty good. Sasha was doing it. I do give credit where credit's due. Alexa did make it look like she popped her arm out of its socket at one point, and that was dislocated. And it distracted not only the ref, but it also distracted Sasha, where it gave her the opportunity to give a cheap shot to Sasha. Now, Sasha Banks won this match via a countout because Alexa Bliss decided that she wasn't going to get back in the ring and fight anymore. She's just going to walk away with her belt because she knew she was going to lose. It's just as simple as that. So, again, they're going to drag this out where she's going to hold on to the belt. Pass the buck. Pass it on. Again, that was really the only match where I was just kind of like, yeah, didn't really do much for me. But this next match that I was looking forward to was the Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns ambulance match. Now, as soon as you hear ambulance match, you know it's anything goes. It's no disqualification. It's going to be a nasty match. And I was looking forward to that. And it was bang on. It did not disappoint me whatsoever. These two beasts basically pounding it out. I know a lot of people don't like Roman Reigns, but you know what? The guy's tough. You can't deny that. Braun Strowman is a beast. Now, one match I would love to see in the future is I'd love to see Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar go at it. That I think would be a great match. Especially if it's hardcore. Like, just let those two guys just annihilate each other. It'd be worth it. So, like I said, it was a great match. Obviously, for a lot of people who may not know it, but object is you can fight anywhere, long as you get the one other wrestler into the back of the ambulance, close the doors, they're the winner. Now, like I said, it was hard hitting, no limits. They were beating the snot out of each other. Roman Reigns, we thought was going to win it towards the end because he went to do a spear. Braun Strowman moves. Roman Reigns goes sliding right into it. Braun just closes the doors. End the match. So I thought, okay, Roman Reigns lost. Sorry for your luck, bud. You know, had to tell my wife, sorry that your guy lost. But then for some reason, Roman Reigns came out and decided, no, he ain't done yet. Even though the match is over, he decides to start laying a little bit of a beating. He gets Braun Strowman into the back of the ambulance, throws the guy out of the driver's seat, and proceeds to drive out of the arena. Where then he gets into the receiving docks and stops. Starts staring into the mirrors. Right? So he's looking at the side mirror, and you can see it, he's just kind of like just staring into it. Okay, we're like, what's he gonna do? Like, is he just gonna get out? What? Next thing you know, throws it in reverse. And all you see is this ambulance truck going as fast as it possibly can, going reverse into a parked trailer, and just buckles the back with Braun Strowman in it. Roman Reigns gets out, walks away. So, obviously, the Curt Angle comes, starts panicking. Someone call 911. They're trying to get it open. So rescue services had to come. They had to bring the jaws of life. They had to pry it open. There you see Braun Strowman. He's not dead, thankfully. They didn't do that type of storyline. So he's obviously pretty badly wounded. He's got cuts all over. He's bleeding. He's hurting. And they're trying to get him onto a gurney. Well, he ain't having anything to do with that. He's pushing them away. He's trying to walk, keeps falling. They keep trying to help him. Finally, he eventually gets going, and he's telling them, leave me alone, and then he disappears between these cars. And that was the last we saw of Braun Strowman. Now, I have a funny feeling, and I think Roman Reigns is going heel. Now, with that being said, maybe a lot of people he wins them back over again. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are kind of dead set against Roman Reigns, so I'm not sure what direction they're going with him. Now that you've got basically all three of the Shield members on Raw, maybe with that Miz Taraj, maybe you have the Shield reunite and put a stop to that. There's a few options right now that I could possibly see. One, like I said, Roman Reigns being healed, the Shield getting back together, or just nothing really big after that. So, while they were waiting for the rescue service to come to free Braun Strowman, they threw in a filler match instead of just having it sit into the back waiting for them to show up. So all you see is Heath, Slater, and Curtis Hawkins come running out. So they start fighting. I mean, like I said, it was nothing really big because we didn't even really see how it ended. We just know that Heath Slater won by a pinfall, because then they went back once the rescue services came and all you heard was the announcement for it. So Now, the last match. There's another match that I was looking forward to, was the Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe. Now, those two guys, I mean, especially Brock Lesnar, you know with Brock Lesnar, it's going to either be a real quick match, done, wash your hands clean, it's over, or he's going to take his time and he's going to pick apart the guy. Now, however, Samoa Joe is no pushover. Clearly, this guy can brawl. He knows what he's doing. He's got a lot of submissions he could throw you in. He's a grappler. So, right off the bat, Samoa Joe was pretty much right all over Brock Lesnar. Again, it was a pretty good match. Brock Lesnar did win the match. So Brock Lesnar retained his belt, but it wasn't easy for him. At one point, I honestly thought Samoa Joe was going to beat him. Brock Lesnar was getting manhandled, and finally Brock Lesnar did turn it around, started taking Samoa Joe to Suplex City, slam after slam after slam. Samoa even threw him into the Kanoa clutches a couple times. Brock Lesnar managed to weasel his way out of that. The last time he actually turned it into the F5, hit it on Samoa Joe, which obviously is what ended it. So, not sure with that direction, with Brock Lesnar winning, is there going to be another match between these two, or is that over? Does Brock Lesnar get a different opponent come for SummerSlam? At this point, not sure. We'll see how things play out with the next Monday Night Raw, whatever other direction they're going to go in. Maybe Roman Reigns takes a run at him. Who knows? But like I said, I would like to see at SummerSlam, and this is just me, two people that go up against Brock Lesnar. First would definitely be Braun Strowman if he's not too banged up from that ambulance thing. That I think would be a great SummerSlam match. Another, call me crazy, would be Finn Balor. I know people look at Brock Lesnar as a beast going up against Finn Balor. Finn Balor get destroyed. However, in NXT, Finn Balor beat Samoa Joe. So, I mean, obviously, we know Samoa Joe's no pushover. Finn Balor could beat Samoa Joe, and I think he beat him a few times. There's a possibility he could beat Brock Lesnar. He's got a different style that Brock Lesnar's not used to going up against. So, maybe, maybe not. Either way, like I said, those are my thoughts on it. I thought the pay-per-view was absolutely great. Great Balls of Fire was Great Balls of Fire, in my opinion. It was really good from start to finish. Like I said, the one little hiccup was just that women's title match. I think that could have been a little bit better, but I'll take it as it's okay. It wasn't horrible, but like I said, satisfied 100% with that pay-per-view. I really hope that the next pay-per-view coming up, which is the SmackDown one for Battleground, is going to be just as good as this Great Balls of Fire one. Now, I've just told you all the things that I thought about it. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So, that's my bottom line. What's yours? Have a good day. Talk to you later.